See Joseph Vijay Nan.
So as of now, Vijay has been sworn in as CM of Tamil Nadu. Although it's a shaky coalition of parties, it's a certain fact that Vijay will have to prove his mantle to the people of Tamil Nadu, or what he calls as Makkal. Thalapathy Vijay has pursued acting for 3 decades around, and his subjects of movies range from farmer welfare, healthcare, education, economics. Although it's easier to criticize in movies, it's tough to implement in real life. His video is simple. We'll take some of his movies with socio-political themes, compare it with current scenario in Tamil Nadu, and see if Vijay the CM will be able to walk the talk that Vijay the actor said for years. Well, the first thing Vijay can do is to bring Thala back on field, at least for one last time. Sarkar, a film that was literally threatened with legal action before its release, because a certain party felt personally threatened by fictional plot of electoral fraud. Think about it for a minute. The party saw themselves as a villain. They filed complaints, they demanded cuts, and thus made the best advertising for the film. Vijay, an NRI, flies back to India to exercise his voting rights. He stands in line, gives his voting ID, and the booth officer tells him somebody has already casted his vote in place of him. His democratic right was stolen. The movie asks some questions here. That what does a citizen do when system itself is corrupt? The solution the movie gives is quite messy. But let's now see the state of Tamil Nadu in topics mentioned on the movie above. The movie speaks on electoral fraud, corrupt politicians, farmer suicide, press freedom. Somewhere in the movie, a journalist is killed by ruling CM. This election, Tamil Nadu also faced the same things. This election, Tamil Nadu saw more than 400 candidates with serious criminal charges, ranging from 5 years and plus. This is almost double from previous elections. Politicians are even more corrupt. We saw average candidate wealth grow from 1.7 CR to 5.1 CR, which is almost 25% CAGR. If the Tamil politicians know about some mutual fund or SIP, please tell others as well. Vijay's TVK had 18% corrupt politicians, which is lower than their rivals AIDMK, which had 35% corrupt politicians.
So what can Chief Minister do about election and electoral accountability? Elections are managed by Electoral Commission, which is a constitutional body. Well, firstly, Vijay can pass Tamil Nadu election representative activities. So the first step can be to pass a disclosure act. Disclosure of criminal charges, disclosure of assets and liabilities, etc. So this can be tracked by citizens through a public dashboard, which is second is to honor the forfeiture. Yes, I know these are just allegations on the candidates, but setting up a fast track court for hearing these cases of each candidate will be a good solution to this. Thirdly, Sundar Ramaswamy in Sarkar movie showed importance of opposition by standing in opposition just after winning the election. Let's see how much importance Vijay gives to the opposition parties. Another movie of Vijay, Kathik, deals with issues of farmer suicide, water scarcity, and fight between big corporates and farmers. The climax where Vijay brings front injustice done by big corporates against 200 villages and exorbitant amount of water which big MNCs drain and take profit outside the nation, and most importantly, farmer committing suicide every 30 minutes. Coming to real life problems from the book. One like small water bodies in Tamil Nadu. There's ponds, tanks, lakes, etc. These need desilting. These water bodies are Tamil Nadu's oldest groundwater resources. Our ancestors built them, we let them fill with silt. And we have been announcing schemes to desilt them every 5 years and completing maybe 10-20% of work by next election. Now here's the context that makes democracy. On the other hand, Kathik's farmer distress story can turn from fiction to a documentary. Tamil Nadu historically had lower farmer suicide rate than Maharashtra and Karnataka. Why? Because Tamil Nadu has diversified economy with safety nets from fishing industry, textile manufacturing, etc. But that safety net is thinning. The GDP of last 2 years has been negative. Water is critically scarce, and farmers who stayed because they love the land are paying for it. And yes, not every 30 minutes, but two farmers are committing suicide every day in Tamil Nadu. So what can CM Vijay actually do on this? First, Tamil Nadu water rights Act. Not just by announcing it, but actually prohibiting some commercial diversion of groundwater and agricultural resources. Industrial units must complete the mandatory water assessment before getting a license. If TVK is serious about Kathit's message, this is the first bill they should table. Second, the Cultivator Rights Act. This is already in TVK's manifesto. A card that gives tenant farmers, yes, those who till the land and they don't own it. The card which gives tenant farmer the access to crop loan, insurance and MSPs. This is Kathit's from promise. Tenant farmers are invisible in most government schemes. This makes them visible. Third, complete desilting. Complete desilting of 1 lakh water bodies. Put it in public dashboard, district by district, tank by tank. If you have done it, prove it, and if you haven't, the dashboard will show it. So Vijay saved one village in 2 hours of screen time. Vijay now has 5 years and around 234 constituencies. Let's hope the sequel is better than original movie. Mercer, film that made BJP so angry they demanded scenes to be cut. Ask yourself, why does a movie make ruling party so angry? Because it was saying something true. In Mercer, Vijay played three characters, but the one that mattered was the doctor. The scene where he stands in hospital and delivers a speech comparing Singapore's free universal healthcare to India's pay or suffer private system. He calls out the GST on medicine, commercialization of human illness, and most importantly, he asks, in a country that sends rocket to Mars, why does a poor man have to sell his land to pay for his wife's surgery? Now here's the Mercer contradiction that the data reveals. Tamil Nadu actually has one of the better public health systems in India. It ranks ninth in the NITI Aayog Health Index. Over 50% of the residents use government hospitals. That's quite remarkable number compared to the other states. The Dravidian politicians should get some credits for maintaining such public health infrastructure. But if the private sector is bleeding people who can't access the public system. Tamil Nadu's average private hospital cost is 52,000 rupees, which is highest in South India. Now the CM Vijay cannot fix GST. That's center's problem. But here's what he can do. First, price cap on 50 most common private hospital procedures. C-section, dialysis, ICU per day. Set state managed minimum rates. Second, to bring billing transparency. Every private hospital must display their standard procedure rates on a big board in hospital. If you are going to charge someone, they should at least know about it. Third, to bring health insurance scheme, as TVK promised in their manifesto. Extend the scheme to self-employed workers, gig workers and informal employees. So Mersal made BJP uncomfortable. Let's see if CM Vijay makes private hospital uncomfortable. Because that's what the real test is. JD, the Vijay's character, is just a teacher. He doesn't have official authority over juvenile system. But he walks in. He faces opposition from students, but he stays. He refuses to accept the fate of children which is lost. Now, the man who played JD has sexual activity, and these children are still waiting. Bhavani in Master uses systemic failure to build his criminal empire. Systemic failure of inadequate juvenile home, absent rehabilitation center, and children with no future. TNPA data shows the same in PLI. Over 50% of children from 14 to 18 years have tried drugs in their life. Not just because they are bad children, but because the outlet of drugs is closer to them from school and sports ground. And also because juvenile home has no counselor and even the juvenile cases take 18 months to be resolved. The state saw around 3,000 juvenile crimes in year 2024, rising from 33% in 2021. Tamil Nadu still leads every single state in South India, and yet this is barely a topic of conversation in political parties. So what can the master do to improve situation of Tamil Nadu? Firstly, independent audit of every observation home and special home in Tamil Nadu. Do it right now and publish these reports. Publish the report with current state of these facilities, how many children are there, what programs exist and what doesn't. Second, enforce a proximity rule. No liquor outlet within 500 meters of schools and colleges. This is not a leave idea. The law exists for this. Enforcement does not. Third is to have JD model based school, wherein we place trained counselors and sports coordinator in 500 schools of government. In schools where dropout rate is very high. So this will be a prevention better than cure strategy, which will be vastly cheap. Fourth, fast track the juvenile justice board cases. The legal limit is 4 months. Actual time in taking is 18 months. This is governance failure. Fix the capacity, hire the staff, set the timeline, publish the performance. That's it. JD had no official power, yet he transformed the system. Vijay has every lever in the state. The children are still waiting, same as 2021-2024. Let's hope the sequel turns into a master blaster. Being new in politics, Vijay has to prove that he is capable of changing future Tamil Nadu citizens. If this made you think, share it. If this made you angry, yeah, share it. And if you are from Tamil Nadu, ask your MLA these questions today.